What's up, Alex or Dark Duelist here, and welcome back to another Clash Royale video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys a really cool deck that I used to get up to 3,500 trophies, and I use this to push me up from about 3,300 to 3,500, but it's great for just doing a ton of winning no matter what your arena in. This is the deck right here, and so you need to at least have all these cards. The only cards you don't need to have for this deck to work really nicely is the Inferno Dragon and the Graveyard. Both the legendaries can be replaced, but I'll tell you guys about that later. So, let me just look. Looks like the max arena you're going to need to be in is Arena 7 for the Elite Barbarians. So this can be used for arena for people in Royal Arena, Frozen Peak, and Legendary Arena, and soon to be the new Jungle Arena. But anyways, let me just show you guys. If you just skip past the tournament stuff and try to just look at the normal stuff, this deck has been getting me a lot of victories recently, and those were all tournament stuff and without this deck. But since I've been using this deck, 3,379, and then all the way up to 3,504. So, anyways, here's the deck, guys. Golem, Graveyard, Elite Barbarians, Zap, Fireball, Inferno Dragon, Witch, and minions. Obviously, Elite Barbarians, almost everybody uses them nowadays. They're super strong, super tanky. They can survive lightning. They can survive Fireball, Zap, and they do a ton of damage. Look at that. Each damage does the same amount. Like, each swing to the Crown Tower does the same amount of damage as a Fireball. See, look, Crown Tower damage 229, damage 265. So, each swing does almost more than a Fireball, and there's two of them. And they move the same speed as Goblins. Basically, a lot of people already know this by now, but Elite Barbarians are kind of new meta. Almost everybody has them. And then, Witch is just great for the splash damage, and you can also use Wizard, or Ice Wizard, but honestly, I prefer Witch because of the skeletons. The skeletons being tanked for by the Golem can actually rack up a lot of damage. Fireball Zap, again, it's just such a great combination because you can take out Wizard, Musketeer, Ice Wizard, 3 Musketeers. There's like so many good combinations you can use with Fireball Zap. And then, some people say, well, yeah, but Lightning can do the same thing, and you don't have to do as much timing. But with Lightning, you can't have like the more versatility. The Fireball Zap also protects against like spam decks, types of that. You know, you have the Witch for splash, and then you also have Fireball and Zap. And then Minions, just another great staple card for just defense, quick stuff. And then Inferno Dragon, so this is one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. It can be used on defense and can destroy golems, giants, royal giants, even hogs. And yet it can go on to offense and by itself take down a tower ignored. But this card can be replaced for two things. You can either replace it for the Inferno Tower. The Inferno Tower is very similar to the Inferno Dragon in defense, and it does a ton of damage, can easily wipe out the tanks, all that type of good stuff. But you can also replace it for a Musketeer. The Musketeer isn't as good as instantly destroying the tanks, but it can counter push and, you know, do a lot of damage. So either way is up to you, but if you have Inferno Dragon, I would definitely recommend it. And then Graveyard can also be replaced for Skeleton Army. It is not as versatile because you can't, you know, put it anywhere on the map. But there are some advantages to a Skelly Army. Even if you have Graveyard, you might still want to use Skelly Army. But honestly, I think it's a little bit more fun with the Graveyard, and you can get off some pretty cool combos. So anyways, and then of course, obviously, Golem. You can also use Giant, again, as I said. But honestly, I love, like, the Golem's death damage, 234, because one of the most annoying counters is Minion Horde, because the Inferno Dragon obviously sucks against Minion Horde, and so do the Elite Barbarians. So the Golem's death damage will actually wipe out the Minions, the Skeleton Army, the Goblins. It'll just kill all the excess troops, and honestly, I love the Golem, probably my favorite tank in the game, but you guys can try it out with Giant instead to see. But anyways, what I'm going to be doing is showing you guys a couple different replays against a lot of different decks that I've been facing. So, I'll just start off against this guy. So, in this one, I was facing against a Hog deck against IsTay546I. So, anyways, again, he also has the Elite Barbarians, and so we both have Elite Barbarians in my starting hand, and he rushes me with Elite Barbarians Fire Spirits. I zap and put my own Elite Barbarians down, and they basically just trade off and kill each other. I have, obviously one half health elite barbarian left, and he puts down the minions just to finish off the elite barbarian, and then he follows that up with a princess just for a little mini push right there. So I just put down my witch mainly just to kill the minions and finish off that princess. So now I have my witch going in on the tower, and witches can actually do like 500 or 600 chip damage. So then what I do is I put down my graveyard, actually, and this is what I love graveyard. Look at that. It's just so surprising to your opponents. Even though he put down those fire spirits, they still did over 500 damage to his tower. No, over 1,000. Sorry, over 1,000 damage to his tower. So just graveyard witch. Anyways, 500 damage to his tower. So I put down my own golem in the back, and he rushes me with a hog and minions, and then I put my own minions to defend and zap his minions. So ideally, what he actually should have done is put his hog on the other side, so I wouldn't be able to follow up my golem. In this case, he did manage to kill the remaining troops, but just in general, even tips for you guys to use, if someone has like a giant, you should usually rush the other side, so then if they put down like, something to defend against your mini counter push or your mini rush, then they won't be supporting their troops. So then basically I put down my elite barbarians, he fireballs them, and look at that. They got fireballed, and they still did over 900 damage to a tower. So that just shows you guys how careful you have to be with elite barbarians. So just think, he used the fireball. And so here was where I made a little bit of a bad decision. I thought, well, I'll just let him take that tower, and I'll build up a really strong push on the other side. But unfortunately, he puts down the elite barbarians, and so I fireball, zap, and put the minions, and they still got like 400 damage on the tower. So definitely elite barbarians are OP. I do think that soon they're probably going to be getting a nerf just because of how many people use them. But now, anyways, on the right side, I got a golem and an inferno dragon, one of the most insanely overpowered pushes in the game. He puts down his elite barbarians, and I put down my own, and even with that zap on the right side, my inferno dragon golem is just absolutely shredding down his tower. So I just have to make sure to defend while my inferno dragon up at top. His hog is coming in, I put down my graveyard. It's kind of a race for the 3 crown. I zap, and then my inferno dragon finishes off his towers. He's very mad, and just like 5 or 6 more seconds and his hog would have had my tower. So anyways, that was a good game against a hog deck. Let me find another deck. Okay, here we go. Against a royal giant deck. So against John Scott from Zermrady CZ. Okay. So anyways, this guy, he is using like a royal giant goblin barrel deck, and so yeah, here we go. He starts off with a furnace, so I rush him with elite barbarians, and he actually puts down a Valkyrie, but he puts down a Valkyrie and then a mega minion right here. But like, just to show you guys again, another example of how insanely overpowered elite barbarians are. He had a mega minion and a Valkyrie on the elite barbarians, and yet the elite barbarians still managed to take out the Valkyrie. So now I'm gonna pressure on the other side with, or not the other side, sorry, on the same side with my golem. So I put down a golem in the very back, and he puts down a musketeer in the very back of the same side to try to help defend. And so now basically he throws a goblin barrel, and I destroy the goblin barrel. Not destroy, but I put down my minions and inferno dragon. Another example, he should have done the goblin barrel on the other side, because since he's on this side, now the troops I used to defend, my inferno dragon and my minion, are now counter pushing, and because of that, my inferno dragon was able to get off the mad damage and actually take out his tower. Really good, quick first tower of the game, and so now I have a huge advantage. Unfortunately, though, he makes a really good play, and I do not respond appropriately to it. So anyways, what he does here is he puts down his mega minion kind of in the back, and I try to rush with my elite barbarians. Unfortunately, he puts down his Skelly army, which absolutely destroys my elite barbarians. That's why I said Skelly army is good. So now he has a royal giant on one side and Skelly army on the other side. See, this was my mistake. I put down a witch to try to defend from the skeleton army, but I should have just let them take the damage while I could defend from the royal giant. And then the other thing was that goblin barrel right there really caught me off guard, and I did not expect that. So anyways, that was definitely well played move by him, and now it's pretty much an even battle. We each have one tower, and not too much damage off on the king tower. Not a game-changing amount of damage off on the king tower. So, I zap his Skelly army, and he kind of destroys my little mini push, just Golem and Inferno Dragon. So now what I do, once again, is I put down my Witch, as he puts down his Royal Giant, which I counter with the Elite Barbarians. Again, Elite Barbarians are great for destroying the tanks. So now I got like another mini push here, Inferno Dragon, one Elite Barbarian, and a one Witch. So I'm just going to zap the Skeleton army. And then, yeah, here he lightnings everything, so that also kind of destroys my little mini push. So now there's 6 seconds left until overtime, so I'm building up another push. And so I have the Witch down in the back, and then I have the Golem in the back, the Golem Witch in the back. I quickly put down, not very quickly actually, very slowly put down my Elite Barbarians to try to defend from its Royal Giant. But now I have a pretty big push going. I got the Elite Barb, the Witch, the Golem, and the Inferno Dragon. So basically, I just take his tower from here, Fireball, and all those skeletons do so much damage, and then eventually taking his tower. So, anyways, that was a good game against John Scott. Now, let me just look for another deck. Okay, here we go. Giant, just a giant deck. It's weird because there used to be so much giant poison, but then after the poison nerf, I haven't really seen any giant, mostly just Royal Giant and Golem, and then cycle decks. But anyways, he starts off with a princess in the back, and so I put a Golem in the other side, and he absolutely wrecks me. Elite Barbarians and Minions, and so honestly, I know that there's nothing I can do to counter that push, so I just put down my Witch to stop him from getting mad damage on my King Tower. And even with that Witch, they still got like 500 damage off, 400 damage off. So now he pretty much wrecked me with that first starting push, and I got almost no damage off on either of his towers, under 500 damage on each of his towers. So things are not looking good for me, but this deck is very strong in double elixir. So I'm still thinking that I can win this, possibly. So now we're just kind of resetting. He's putting his minions in the back end. So now I quickly counter his giant with my Inferno Dragon, and then put down the Elite Barbarians to just take out the archers and provide a little bit of a counter push to this guy. See, now he doesn't have enough elixir, and my Elite Barbs get onto his tower and deal the insane damage. The minions and the Inferno Dragon are falling up. I take a tower now, so he still has a lot of damage, and he actually, right there, he missed his Fireball. And so now my Inferno Dragon can get mad damage off on the King Tower, bringing it down to 500, which pretty much is a good game. Now my Graveyard helps bring it down to 400. And from here, now all I have to do is Fireball and then cycle back to my other Fireball. Just defend. Don't let him get a 3 crown for like 30 seconds. So now, I just put down my Elite Barbarians, help to kill that giant. He takes a tower, but honestly that's fine because it doesn't even matter if he takes my other tower, because all I have to do is send in the Fireball, and I will get the 3 crown. So he sends in his Fireball, kills my tower and my Witch, and then there we go, send in the Fireball. And that is a good game against Mr. Steve-O from Macassar Legends. So we have against the Giant deck, oh my gosh, so look at this. This one, it was a pretty similar deck. We both have Golem, we both have Inferno Dragon, both have Zap. Okay, well, not really the same deck, but still the basics, the foundation, the Golem Inferno Dragon is the same. So anyways, this is against Zen, another Golem Inferno Dragon deck. So if your opponent does have Inferno Dragon or Inferno Tower countered to your Golem, what you're gonna have to do is get off the chip damage, like a couple Fireballs, the Elite Barbarians, the Minions, like 500 damage here, 1,000 damage here. if they have the Inferno Tower, most of the times you're not going to be able to build up a big one push, one push wonder and just take the tower with one push. You're going to have to do it over a multitude of pushes, but that's okay. So I put down my golem, he puts down his golem, and we both put down our Inferno Dragons. I put down my Leap Arts, and he puts down his Mega Minion, and we just kind of trade off there. Both the golems die, except in this one, I actually managed to get off quite a good deal of damage, actually, surprising, considering all he thinks he put down. And here's when I actually surprisingly get a lot of damage. My Inferno Dragon locks onto the tower and brings the tower all the way down to 659. So I definitely started off strong here. He hasn't even barely touched any of my towers when I have only 700 health left on his tower. So now I'm just going to put down the golem down on the right side to hopefully finish off the tower over here. So we're both just kind of building up elixir. Him for defense, me to support my push. And then now he puts down the Inferno Dragon, so I just support it with the Witch, and then my own Inferno Dragon to hopefully counter his. He puts down the Archers, but because of my level superiority on his Inferno Dragon, it almost manages to kill it, and my Witch finishes it off. And then the Golem's death damage, along with the Witch, brings it down to 184 health, which all I need to do is send in a Fireball. So I put down Elite Barbarians on the other side just to pressure him, send in the Fireball, and clip the Elixir Pump as well. And even though he put down the Tombstone and Archers, my Elite Barbarian still got almost 1,000 damage off of his tower. So I'm just trying to, always pressure. The trick with this deck, especially when you're facing Golem decks, is like always keep the pressure on. Never let them have a chance to build up a super strong push. You never want to you never want to let them have their dream push. Like for this deck, the dream push is Golem, Inferno Dragon, Witch, Graveyard. And so that's the dream push. And you never really want to let your opponent obviously have the dream push, but especially with decks where there's like a giant or a golem. So anyways, I just keep the pressure on. Not able to get the second crown counting towards my clan chest, but of course it was still a win. And I did take the victory against Zen from, I don't know what clan he's from. Let me look. Zen from NW. So that was against another golem. And then I'll just show this one's a good one. Against a Lava Hound deck. So basically with a Lava Hound deck, this deck, one of the only strong air defense it has is Inferno Dragon, which is very strong. But yeah, anyways, he starts off with we're both kind of waiting. So I start off with my golem, and he starts off by just, I think, sending in his miner and the Skelly Army. So I zap his Skelly Army. I miss one skeleton, which I decide just to leave, and he can get a little bit of chip damage off on my tower. About 700 chip damage. But if this works out according to plan, I should hopefully be able to get a ton of damage off on this tower. So as I said, or I didn't say this, sorry, but this deck, so now, sorry, whatever, never mind. My graveyard basically gets mad damage off, and all those skellies are being tanked for by the golem. So I actually managed to get that tower down, really early tower, and then my witch, along with my minions, helped to finish off the lava pups. And basically, again, kind of same situation as the last game. I start off with a really good start. He has under 1,000 damage done to my towers, yet I have one of his towers down. So look, yet again, another example of Elite Barbarians, their overpowerness. He puts down the minion horde, and yet they still get a ton of damage off. So now I just, zap the minion horde, and now we're both kind of just resetting, gathering up our elixir, and just, waiting for the other one to make a move. So now he does a minions miner, and I just easily spawned with a witch to take out the minions and then help chip down the miner. So now all I have to do is defend. Really, that's my main goal. But of course, always remember with any deck that has a tank, including a Lava Hound, you want to keep the pressure on them so they can't build up their dream push. So I put down my golem on the other side. He puts down his Lava Hound. And basically, I just put down my Inferno Dragon to guard, or to not guard, but to chip away at the Inferno Dragon, and I actually managed to get the Fireball off in time and kill his minion horde. Unfortunately, he does do the Goblin's minions, which, before I even have a chance to react, shreds my Golem, but thanks to the Golemites, my Witch is still going to get onto the tower and do a ton of damage, while my Elite Barbarians can finish off the tower, hammer it away, and that is a 2-1 crown right there. There's only 20 seconds left of the game, so basically it's almost impossible for him to get 2 crowns. He could very well get this crown, get this tower, but of course, even if he does get this tower, he won't be able to win. So 3 seconds left, 2, 1, and that is a good game against Sergio. What's his name? Sergio Riga 98 from Sands. So anyways, guys, there were some replays that I showed you guys, and I think I'm going to jump into one live battle. Here we go. So, Zombie Sin from Grandma's Cooch. Okay, that is an interesting clan name. Very interesting clan name. So anyways, I'm sorry guys if I'm not going to be talking as much during this, because like I'm not very good at recording while I talk. Like recording while I actually play a live one. That's why I showed you guys all the replays. Because, you know, I'm just like very focused on this, and a lot of times I won't be able to like narrate and concentrate. But anyways, got a great first push off and managed to hammer down his tower. I'm just going to send in a fireball and get that clump of buildings. Okay, so it looks like I'm just basically going to, my strategy, I guess, will just be to chip down his tower. Chip down on his tower until I'm able to take it down and hopefully defend. It looks like so far he has some sort of spawner deck, but I can't really tell because I've only seen 4 cards from his deck. But he's putting down another furnace, this time on this side of the map. So he does have some decent damage, actually. I'm going to put down my Golem, actually. I just said actually 3 times in a row. Unfortunately, that Valkyrie will be just in the perfect range to hit my Golem. But now my Golem is locked onto the tower, and I should take down that tower with the death damage and Golem damage combined, or at least get it very low. So, I don't think I'm going to take it. Am I going to be able to take it? Let me just pressure with Elite Barbarians on the other side, just so he has to split up his defense a lot. And wow, he's not actually doing anything against them. Is he just... Okay, he fireballed them, but look at that. So insanely overpowered. Wow. Look, I have more damage on that tower. My Witch and Golem push did less damage than Elite Barbs. Just, oh my gosh. They honestly have to, they need to nerf Elite Barbarians. So, looks like, unless he has some sort of miracle push, I pretty much have 2 towers down. I should be able to win this unless I make like a stupid mistake, which I really hope I do not, because I'm not a fan of making stupid mistakes. So again, he just keeps clumping all his spawners. Easy fireball there. Take out the tower and lower the health of the spawners. So now I'll just put down my Witch, and I guess I can try to get the other tower. Don't think I'll be able to, but maybe I can. Obviously, I want to get the extra crown for the clan chest. But anyways, am I gonna... Oh wow, the Elite Barbarians. Okay, I actually got the 2nd crown. Did not think I was gonna be able to do that. Anyways, though, that is a well-played, good game against Zombie Sin. Wow. So anyways, there you guys go. I think 4 or 5 replays and then a live battle. Hopefully you guys will try this deck out if you can, if you have all the cards. Definitely, if you do, leave a comment down below, smash the like button if you try this deck out and if it works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, I'll be uploading soon, hopefully a lot more other types of videos like these deck reviews and just good decks. But anyways, to everybody who celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a great Christmas. Actually, I'll probably be uploading this. Yeah, okay, so today is probably going to be Christmas. If you're watching this today, I'll upload it. I'm actually recording this video on Christmas Eve, but by the time I upload it, it'll probably be Christmas. And then to everyone else, that doesn't celebrate Christmas, happy Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, or just enjoy the winter break if you are in winter break right now. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely check out some of my other videos and comment down below if there are any other types of video ideas you think I should start making. And yeah, see you guys next time.